Hello and welcome to the hotspot on a Friday morning, the 14th of July. My name is Webb, and well, guys, Andre Onana is still top of the talk. Rasmus Højlund is emerging so fast and trying to overtake Andre Onana. But guess what? We are in control of the situation. Don't you worry. Welcome to the hotspot. Subscribe. And guys, as always, it's never serious on a Friday, but perhaps this one might be different and a little more serious because it could be D-Day as Andre Onana. There are sudden developments that we are getting this morning. I told you a bit about them. I'll tell you more from what's coming out now. A verbal agreement has been nearly reached between Manchester United and Inter Milan because verbal talks, a verbal bid was made by Man United. That was the third bid for Onana. 50 million euros plus 5 million in add-ons. That is what Man United are sticking with. And the conversations are going on, have been going on all throughout the night, trying to find a proper structure for how this contract is going to pan out. As it looks, I think Inter Milan and Man United have agreed in principle, but they're just now trying to, I think, get into the details, the specifics of how this contract is going to be treated and how much money is going to be paid up front. How on earth is it going to be executed? The payment and execution structure is so important, more so in a time like this one when Inter Milan need every penny. If they are going to come out as well and reorganize their house, they need players, they need Romelu Lukaku, they need goalkeepers, they need two to replace Andre Onana. So they obviously do need the money. So that's why they've been trapped in clear negotiations to try and understand how Manchester United are contemplating on executing this multi-million pounds acquisition of Andre Onana. But as it is, it seems to be going on well. They seem to be advanced. Hey, okay. My hand looked big there for a minute. I felt like Rambo. Anyhow, so yeah, looking at how they are going to be paying this money, because Inter Milan do want to get their cash in fast because they've got moves to do to make themselves. The window is not waiting for them, so it's going to be a busy next week probably for both Man United and Inter as well. But I'm here to focus more on Manchester United. But what we expect is going to be happening, and this was, I think, again confirmed by all the top sources you can think of, that this deal might not go into the next week without being done. I think next week what we should be expecting is to see to hear of a medical and also Andre Onana joining Manchester United for the preseason tour of the US. So, I do believe it's not going to go beyond this week. That's why I actually expect, if for any reason it is not sorted today, we could be seeing Man United busy and working all throughout the weekend. Yeah, they should be working throughout the weekend. So it's going to be an interesting one. You think the next few days are going to be a bit fast for Manchester United as they try to push through a move to finalize Andre Onana. But it is expected that it is today that everything is going to be done, because the details that are left are just a matter of agreeing on the structure. But I think in principle, the two parties have agreed on 50 million euros plus 5 million in add-ons. Now, of course, add-ons would mean add-ons are usually, of course, what you win with the player. And again, if United won, it would make sense for them, so they will have no issues paying the add-ons. So that's a bit of where we are with the Andre Onana situation. We all know that the goalkeeping department and the striking departments are two important areas that Eric Ten Hag has got to sort, and they have tried to do a couple of things about them. Of course, bearing in mind how difficult it is going to be always, because they are Man United, players are going to be overpriced, and why are being careful this time is because they don't want to overspend on players and regret later, because they have learned from the past. They are stuck with so many players now because they signed contracts that did not make sense. Players are earning so much money, they were bought for so much money, so they obviously feel they shouldn't be doing such same mistakes going forward. That's why they are trying to be careful, but that does not mean that they are not working well. Of course, for us the fans, it might be looking a little unsettling. Of course, the jitters could come in if you hear some of the biggest clubs in Europe coming for your players and looking their way. You probably get a feeling something could change in the last minute, and we would lose out on a top priority. But also, we know that United has got backup options in the event that for any reason Andre Onana fails to happen. You think there are options, and they are in place, they are known. We're not going to them because we want to keep the focus on Onana, but there are always options for Man United as backups if in case Plan A fails, because even Andre Onana was surely never Plan A for Manchester United. But now also, of course, when it comes to the striking department, Rasmus Højlund still again top of the list there for players United is looking at. He's a striker, and I think who has got high potential in terms of what he can achieve. Because I mean, we're talking a player who scored 16 goals for Atalanta in all competitions, and has scored 6 in as many games for Finland, for Denmark, his national team. So he has got the potential to be world class. The issue though is that he's being overpriced by his club. That is probably going to slow the process. Because if you think of how Man United has been taking it slow with Andre Onana, trying to talk Inter Milan down from their 51 million pounds valuation of the player to get them to accept 50 million euros plus add-ons, it shows you that perhaps with Rasmus Højlund it will even be a more a tortoise process. If Atalanta overly pricing the players, there was talk of 85 million pounds and all. So we know that Atalanta, we have always known it's a difficult team to deal with. Of course, when you get into this stage of bidding with clubs, you do your research about them and their history in terms of how they treat their players when it comes to the transfers. But the advantage for United though is that Rasmus Højlund himself loves Man United. He has been open. He's a Manchester United supporter, and perhaps that would give United an advantage. Also, the fact that Christian Eriksen is his national teammate, so there's a bit of that advantage, but it's not one you can dwell on so much, because beyond the player wanting a club and agreeing personal terms, if you're contracted with a club, it's the club then that has got, I think, the last the last say on where you go, because you are their asset, they value you, in fact. So if whoever wants you doesn't meet their valuation of you, unfortunately, you've got to back off and think and look elsewhere. But I think there's a decent chance that Atalanta will go way down of their valuation. Of course, United, because they are desperate for a striker, have been looking for all forms of options and formulas to come out and try and convince Atalanta. They spoke of adding 2 players. They spoke of Fred and Donny van de Beek plus cash. But Atalanta seems to be clear on what they want. I think they do clearly want cash, because again, sales like this for a team like Atalanta don't come every day. I think this will be their biggest asset of a player. I think in a long time. So they want to get as much as they can get from him. And if PSG are showing interest in him at a time like this, when PSG are looking for stability post Lionel Messi, post Kylian Mbappe, you get a sense that that is a serious threat for Manchester United. So I do feel, to be honest, and I'm not trying to be a prophet of doom, I think the Rasmus Højlund deal is even going to drag us a little further than Onana has, and I think we need to be prepared for that. I'm thinking we might actually go a significant part of the preseason without a striker. It's very possible. At the very worst, we could actually back out of Rasmus Højlund and probably go for Plan Bs, because they are there. The Goncalo Ramoses of this world and all. So again, it will all depend on how much time Erik ten Hag and his team are willing to spend on negotiations for a player, as of course the clock continues ticking to the start of the new season. Because the longer we spend without having a striker, the more difficult it will be for us to pick up when the season starts. So it's a tricky situation the club is in that's trying to manage. But of course, it all goes down to the transfers, the players, but also the sale of players. Because again, for some of these players like Rasmus Højlund, who are a bit pricey, if you're going to top up on what you have, you've got to be able to sell. And the sales don't seem to be happening in thick and fast. We are not exactly buying so fast because we don't have money. Neither are we selling that fast. So it's a difficult situation we are trapped in, but I think a beautiful, interesting challenge for us to face. So that's why, of course, those are the two top serious departments that United are looking to sort. But we believe they are not areas that can't be sorted. I think there is a plan to sort them. How long that will take could be the matter of debate, but I think they will be sorted before the start of the season, because with a doubt, we cannot start with Jadon Sancho playing as a false nine, and neither can we start with Tom Hitton as the goalkeeper. So these deals are going to be sorted. For Onana, it will be soon. Today, most probably, we will be getting that confirmation, because the verbal agreement bid has been tabled. It seems to be discussed and perhaps edging towards an official one, official final bid. But for Rasmus Hoyland, before we even get serious into him, we do want to manage the expectation. I think it will drag on a bit. We should be mentally prepared for it to stretch a bit, because Atalanta is certainly a more difficult party to deal with than Inter Milan can ever be. So that's where we are as Manchester United, of course, when it comes to the transfers and what's going on. So it's the day today. It's the day that we expect something to be done. I will be here to give you all those updates. It's a Friday, and yeah, usually on a Friday like this one, what happens on a normal Friday when there's football? I think what's happening is us going into the players' fitness, and if United is playing on a Saturday, if there is a game to play at a time like this on a Friday, we are always thinking who is fit and who is not, what squad could start. Those are the worries we have. But if you notice, guys, I think the transfer window, this has been for me one of the most exciting summers I've seen in football, and I've been around for a bit, not so long, yeah, but for a bit. Yeah, I don't want you guys to start pulling out calculators and trying to calculate my age. But yeah, I've been around for a bit, and I've not seen such a busy summer, more so when it comes to Manchester United, but also all clubs. If you think about how Arsenal has been busy, how Chelsea has been buying and selling players, you think about Newcastle, all these clubs, you feel this has been a busy summer, and you usually don't see so much business like this in such a summer. But also the advent of the Saudi Pro League, I think, has also made it even more exciting, because now the competition for the biggest clubs is not just among them in Europe. Now there is a third party, if I would call them, who is a major threat, because they have got more money to spend than everyone else. So again, it's even becoming more exciting. I feel like the battles now in terms of transfer talk and conversations are always going to be more exciting. We know that it's even only going to get bigger. I mean, the summers that will come, I think it will be busier than this. And this is a crucial part of the window. It's more like a football season. It's even tougher, because I think we spend more sleepless nights in this summer window than we do when the season is going on. So it's beautiful, because it keeps us going as we wait for the return of football, and for me, that's I think a good thing. So that's where we are as Manchester United. Subscribe to the hotspot, and let's keep talking about all these updates as they do come. It's the day, and sooner rather than later, guys, my haircut will be put to use. This haircut was not for you, not for me, not for anyone. It was to welcome Onana, but also to dance for you when he's finally sealed. So, guys, I'm sure it will be happening later tonight. We will be getting the Here We Go. Let me go. See you later.